see when the grass is cut, the snakes will show. I gotta thank the little homie Nas for that, though.
Do y'all think he cheated? Let's be honest. Y'all think he cheated? Like, why is all this taking so long? Why is everybody so quiet? And he has not said anything about like not being a cheat. It's all weird. This has become bigger than the Joshua Big Baby Miller scandal. You know, I got to update my rankings because somebody said the the WBA removed him from the rankings. Is that true? Anybody confirm that? Let me go check. It's just all not right. It's just all not right. We got to wait for that B sample, though. But he passed VADA. Now, you do know that fighters like VADA is not bulletproof, right? Now, I'm not saying any of this shit, you know. I want to believe that Dillian Whyte, like I'm like that. Even when it came to Povetkin and all of them, I be following that shit. And one thing I never do is the first video I ever do on like a steroid situation, I've learned, like, you got to tread lightly, man. You can't, like, because you never know what's going to come out. And also, I don't like that court of public opinion shit. So I don't like calling nobody a cheater until, like, you know, some news comes out that they cheated. You see what I'm saying? So the WBA, let's look at their rankings. Yes, Dillian Whyte has been, let's go full screen, I'll show you. Dillian Whyte has been removed from here. Let me get this off of here. There we go. All right. Yeah, Dillian Whyte, these are the newest rankings. July the 31st, he has been removed. But you know what? They piss me off anyway. They got no fucking credibility. Fucking Gumberto Mendoza. Andy Ruiz, WBA Super World Champion. Manuel Char, WBA World. Joe Joyce, WBA Gold. You got an interim champion, bro. Like, and y'all removing people. I remember like a few years ago, 4 years ago, they had a dead man ranked. And poor old Fezzo Quindo, don't you know he has to always be ranked? And he can, don't you know, this motherfucker, well, it's not his fault. Fezzo Quindo, if you're watching, you're not a motherfucker. All right, I'm not gonna take it out on you, but don't you know Fezzo Quindo got a court order for a title shot? Let me tell you, don't you know that? Listen to me. Fezzo Quindo has a court order that he can get a title shot whenever he wants. He's waiting for the big shebang. He's gonna be like 60 years old. He hasn't fought in like damn near 5 years, 6. This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. He has a court order that if he don't get his title shot, he sues the fucking WBA to smithereens. This is a crazy ass world, man. This crazy ass world, man. This place is nuts. This boxing world is crazy as shit. However, you know, I don't think that Eddie Hearn, see, it's a Eddie Hearn in a situation like where he a casualty of war, I guess, because he like, well, what the fuck would I had to tell Rivas for? The fucking commissions and the drug testing agency said the fight is on, so, you know. But yeah, let's listen to Fast Car. See, it's already been since the 17th. So he already got everything he gonna say down to, like, you know, this is what he do. He Fast Car. He got a fast car. He talks, you know.
Let's address the situation with Dillian Whyte in terms of the latest news in that the WBC have suspended him temporarily as interim champion. What are your thoughts on that?
A strange move, really. I mean, firstly, the WBC follow VADA effectively in their codes, of which Dillian Whyte paid, I think, $30,000 to be fully VADA tested for that fight and passed every test. So that's strange. At the moment, what the facts that we do know is that he was cleared to box by the National Anti-Doping Panel and UKAD and the British Boxing Board of Control. So he's not suspended by them. So why should the WBC suspend him? Don't know. Agenda, pressure. We'll see. I think all this stuff's going to come out. Again, I keep being told to keep my big mouth shut until the facts come out. And Dillian Whyte right now is in the process of clearing his name. So Dillian Whyte could fight Saturday if he wanted to. I mean, he's not suspended. He's cleared to box. But the WBC obviously think differently. took 600 days for him to become mandatory. It was a big struggle. So they moved very fast to make sure that he's suspended without actually getting any facts other than some facts written in online stories.
Does it surprise you from the WBC when you consider some of the things that they've done in the past? They've hardly been a model of consistency at times, have they?
No, and I don't think they've
Controversy
been fair to Dillian Whyte
donated
from start to finish. The whole
$79
situation's
through
a
Super
nightmare,
Chat.
you know, whatever way you
This
look
is
at
a
it.
test Super Chat alert
Dillian
for
Whyte now is
$79.
working to make sure that his name is cleared. Like I said, right now, he's not suspended by anyone, not UKAD, not the British Boxing Board of Control. He's clear to fight, and he was clear to fight when he took part in the bout with Oscar Rivas. So why he should be suspended by the WBC without any information is beyond me. But, you know, you are quite right. You know, he was treated unfairly by them for many years, and I don't know. Agendas, I don't know. But, you know, it's a bad situation all round. And like I said, Dillian Whyte and his team will be working to what he has to do now, clear his name and make sure he convinces everybody who thinks he's guilty that he's not. And, you know, we live in a...
What can he do to convince anybody, anything? You know that court of public opinion is a motherfucker, man. What can he do? What can Dillian Whyte do? What can he do? You know, like, unless he show that, like, some secret camera footage of somebody fucking tainting some shit, I don't know, it's rough. It's rough. But see, I believe, you know, in science and shit. You know, I believe in science and shit. And also, isn't it true that they have that B sample by now? I mean, come on. I do believe the people have a right to know. Damn. It's crazy. That glove situation was shady too. You know, it's a mess. And, you know, it's going to be made more difficult for him to get a title shot. Like, he's been, basically, even if he is cleared or whatever, he's been sent to the back of the line. Let's talk about that back of the line, by the way, before we cut to the rest of Mr. Eddie Hearn's interview. Fast car. I'm pissed. I was up all night working, and I stayed off of here, let me tweet now. I stayed off of social media, and, you know, I was like, let me buckle down and really get this, you know, like, this work done. And I found out that my man Carl Frampton is not fighting. Some clown in Philly knocked some shit onto his hand and smashed his hand all up. What type of mess, right? He's still going to be at the fight. I'm going, obviously. But it's like, what the hell, man? I talked to him last week at a function in Philly. So, yeah, let's go look at the rankings real quick. And what I'm going to do is very briefly break down the heavyweight division for you. So you know what fights are happening and what fights, you know, like to look forward to, or anything like that. So as you know, Deontay Wilder is going to be fighting Luis Ortiz in a rematch, likely November the 9th or something like that. It is not confirmed that it's going to be on Showtime. Fox could very well get it. And as you notice, Fox has been really putting a lot of stock into Deontay Wilder in regards to him doing commentary and, you know, in between, you know, fight bits and whatever. Very good chance it can end up on Fox pay-per-view. Because, see, that would be the next Fox pay-per-view. Well, that's a reasonable pay-per-view slot after Spence versus Porter to not be on the same billing cycle. But anyway, Wilder versus Wilder versus Ortiz 2. You got Andy Ruiz, who's going to be taking on Anthony Joshua somewhere in November, December. Then, if those two winners don't fight, you know, Deontay Wilder in a perfect world, Andy Ruiz, then it's going to be Alexander Usyk. The WBO mandatory is next. So which means unless there's undisputed in, I would say, April or May 2020, if it's not undisputed, then it has to be Alexander Usyk. Kubrat Pulev is currently trying to jump the line, but it's not going to happen. And after that, if it's not undisputed, it has to be Pulev. So regardless, Pulev is not going to get his shot until at least the fall of next year, 2020. And that can be even pushed back to 2021. And then it would have been Dillian Whyte, WBC shot. And then WBA. So right now, Adam Kownacki has a very good chance. Right now, it looks like he's leapfrogging. Dillian Whyte is going to take his spot. And where does Trevor, they're going to be at the end of the line. This WBA, they're going to be at the end of the line. A WBA mandatory shot may not come until fucking 2022. No bullshit. And the WBA is happy with that because they can keep fucking having these fucking bullshit belts. I don't think so. The IBF is not in line. Like, they're not at Eddie Hearn and Usyk's team wouldn't allow that. The IBF is not in line yet. Unless it just, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And then his manager, Igis Klimas, is very close with the WBO. They got their plan for him to, he already put his paperwork in. And then Pulev, after his suspension was over from the highly seductive and alluring Jenny Sushi situation, that trash-ass lap dance, it was look all stiff. She was smashing it. He put his paperwork in, after. But let's get back to Fast Car. Get the Fast Car.
In an age where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right now I think he's guilty until proven innocent. So that's his job.
On social media, he is.
Sure that, effectively he's fighting for his career right now.
And where are we at in terms of that process?
That process, to be honest, is handled now by Dillian Whyte and his lawyers. Since the fight, I've not heard from UKAD or the board. Dillian Whyte is dealing with that. His legal team is dealing with that to make sure that effectively the truth comes out and that his name is cleared. We have a complete strict policy in terms of my beliefs in the sport that anyone that's knowingly cheating should be banned from the sport. And Dillian Whyte, in my opinion, and that's knowing him, that's knowing the pressure that he puts under me to make sure that all this testing is in place, it doesn't quite add up for me. And of course, we keep going back to the point that there was an independent hearing and he was cleared to box after providing evidence. Ask yourself why. Why was that? Maybe there's a chance that the evidence that was provided was sufficient enough to prove that he may just be innocent. So give him a chance to prove that. Let the facts come out rather than just reading reports and panels. Everything will come out in a wash and you'll get your chance to judge. But right now, he's clear to box. He's not suspended. His licence is in full tact with the British Boxing Board of Control. So we will see what happens over the next few weeks.
It's probably no surprise that so many people.
One thing you have to commend Eddie for is he riding for his dog. Hey, did you know that Dillian Whyte got a fake ass brother? Oh man, did Ty and Booth get him yet? Because I'm about to get him. That guy ain't that Dean White. You know what? Let me tell you. When I found out, I felt like I was upset. I'm sitting at this restaurant. This was last Thursday. Sitting at this restaurant waiting for this chick. And I'm on my social media and I see like this shit and I'm like, the fuck? He's not real? He got this fake ass brother that's not his brother, and this dude masquerade around and let people call him like Dean White when he not. Bro, how could you live with yourself? Come on, man, you're better than that. Like,
people have come out in judgment, as you would expect, particularly with social media. A lot of people complaining about the fact that the result of the first test was known before the fight. understandable argument, I guess, but is it a case of maybe that we're in a stage where the process itself perhaps needs some changes?
Yeah, I think from our point of view, we followed an absolute spot-on protocol.
I've talked to Eddie before.
It's a complete disaster that we were alerted a couple of days before the fight for a test that took place a month earlier. I think that in itself isn't great, because how do you keep a tab on these tests that are being taken and when they were taken? We were asked to produce evidence, or Dillian was asked to produce evidence at a hearing, which he did. So we followed that exact protocol. The timing when this all came out was horrendous. And again, people might not think so at the time, but horrendous for Dillian Whyte. You know, he found this out on Thursday night. He didn't sleep till he got in the ring and until he went to bed that night, because it looked like the fight may not even take place. So he had the hearing, he was cleared to fight. And I would just let the rest of the facts come out. I don't know if the system is flawed. I think the bigger problem we have is there's too many agencies. You know, you've got VADA testing. VADA do a great job. We pay them a lot of money. Fighters that we represent pay them a lot of money. They report the news to a circle of people, but they don't sanction. They don't suspend people. And that's a problem when you look at like the Jarrell Miller incident, where he failed 3 drug tests for 3 separate substances, not banned by anybody. UKAD, at least they banned.
You know what I was thinking about and really kind of pissed me off? I was just thinking about this with the Kwiatkowski fight. Like, damn, he the next Adamic. Did motherfucking Big Baby Miller beat up and retire Adamic on the juice? That's sad if you think about it. Like, sad as shit. And I was a big Adamic fan back when he was at 175. And I covered when he fought Chris Arreola, by the way, on HBO. No, did I cover or watch that in college? I don't remember. I think I covered it. But that's fucked up. You know, I'm not feeling Big Baby Miller. That was some, I'm not feeling that shit.
But they do have a confidentiality code that is part of their process and part of their rules that the board abide by as well. So I don't think anybody's process is correct. And I would prefer a universal blanket where all the commissions around the world had a strict policy to say, no, if this happens, this is the result. Unfortunately, the British Boxing Board of Control follow UKAD's rules. The WBC follow VADA's rules. The independent commissions in America don't really follow any rules. I mean, all these fights taking part in America, there is no testing by the commissions. You talk about these fights taking part, the Dillian Whyte Rivas fight, these guys were tested, I don't know, a dozen times in camp. Dillian Whyte particularly by VADA and by UKAD. So I feel like the board do a good job in that respect. They're one of the few independent commissions that actually have a random testing program in place. And it frightens me in America where there is just zero testing at all, unless you're paying the 30, 40,000.
That is very, 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 very true. You know, people gonna fucking be mad at me for saying this, but he better be innocent because he looking innocent the way they handling this. Is there some contamination? I don't know. You know, see, Eddie Hearn's got to say that he don't know nothing, but he knows. Knowingly take a substance, yeah. Did you think somebody spiked it? Somebody spiked some shit? A spy? But how do you do some shit like that? Did they put the sample in a tainted ass glass? A tainted ass test tube? Yeah, you know, I used to work with the Sportsman. Here, let's go watch that real quick. I'll show you what you're talking about. By the way, we're doing something major. I forgot to tell y'all. The Ultimate Boxer, September the 21st, we're streaming a card on this channel. I tested it on the other channel, but we're streaming a full live card where in between fights, you're going to be able to call in. And it's a live, we're streaming a live one-night tournament on September the 21st. Crazy. So I'm going to get into my promoter bag. I got to get my website together. As I said, I'm clean up things around here, you know, make everything look a little bit better, fix everything up. But yeah, man, taking off. What was he looking at? What was we looking at? Looking for. Damn it, that goddamn fucking memory loss. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, but we're going to be doing it different. Listen, that fake-ass sportsman. So, yeah, let's talk about that hot mic situation. Here we go. Pay attention. Tell me what you think.
Respect, brother. Thank you. You boxed good as well, man. You did good. You know, you done good. You done very good. I was happy. You done good. You kept it together nicely. It's good, man. That's what you can do. That's all you got to do, man. That's how you know. You use your feet good as well. You kept on taking it. You can get nothing off. Respect. Okay, no. Jesus Christ, man. I ain't slept at all the last couple of days.
But I didn't have to fight.
Fuck's sake.
That was a miracle.
But that's the difference between being a professional and...
I never. I just stayed and then she phoned me up. We did it.
I need to keep my hair for a reason. Because it's a fucking stitch. I forgot one of those 2 days. And then 1 in a million.
Quiet please.
That was shady as fuck. Wasn't it?
On the back. Thank you.
That was shady as fuck. Man! And he saw the mic. He saw the mic. Look. You say like, ho. Especially that big ass ESPN one right there. Damn. Dillian was about to start spilling the beans.
I need to keep my hair for a reason.
You know? And he was clearly, like not himself during fight week. He wasn't like his normal energetic self. We already know why now. I remember watching a media workout and they did the interview and he just was like, You know? I can't wait to see what they come up with, though. I can't wait to see what they come up with. Oh, man. My man Ty